And we're back. This is video 2 for the 13th of February, and I am now going to be talking specifically about some writing. You were to get me a list of topics of interest to you. I have gotten this so far from Luke that I'm aware of, and they are funny, and they are topics. There's a difference between a topic and a thesis. The thesis is exactly what you are going to say about the topic. The topic is just the subject matter, not what you're going to say about it. Luke did his in questions, like, of course, I don't have it in front of me, so I can't say. But let's say, should schools expel students who cheat? That's definitely not a thesis, because a thesis cannot be stated as a question. When you state an idea as a question, that's actually a hypothesis. And that's the question that starts you thinking, that the answer to which is your thesis. I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but I would like to see more of these topics, these suggestions, because you need to write another essay. I'm not unhappy with the ones I've seen that came in, but they're pretty pedestrian. Now, I'm fortunate in that I have this one in front of me from Anna, and I'm sorry, Anna, if I seem to be picking on you here, but there are certain things in your essay I think that we can all learn from that are good. Here's the general topic, and here is the resolved statement that I gave you. And now here is her essay. Schools segregated by gender are becoming a popular alternative to coeducation, but does it help the students? I think schools should not be segregated by gender after 5th grade because students may mature slower and lose social as well as communication skills. It also encourages gender stereotypes. So there she has her thesis and a map. And when she got into the body, notice that she very, very wisely included not only a quote, but the the citation for that quote. One con of gender-specific schools is the students may mature slower. According to Niche and the URL, in their article, Pros and Cons of Single-Sex Educations, boys mature slower, so potentially girls won't positively influence them. And here is the explanation of it. So she did have insert, quote, and explain. It's not very personal. It's very cut and dried, typewriter, academic. It's there. She doesn't personalize it. She doesn't make it for living people, let's say. The other thing I need to say is, although it's absolutely wonderful to include this information, this is not the format that we use at the high school level for the MLA. And I will show that to you. You never put the URL in the article. That goes in the works cited. Because this is just a long bunch of information that your reader will lose interest in looking at. So we use a small parenthetical citation, which we'll get to later. Not sure I like use of the word one con. We use the word negative. We talk about the pros and cons, but when we put it in writing, we use the word negative. It's just a thing. And so she goes on, she has lots of resources here, which are excellent to support what you have to say. And I'm glad she did. This is a restatement, not just a, it is almost word for word the same as her thesis, but there are some twists to it. And what I wanted to see was, how do you write essays? And this tells me she has a lot of experience with writing the regular school required essay. And so thank you, Anna, for letting me use your piece, even though you didn't get to say no. Let me go now back to our course here, because I want to show you what I have for you. Under topic 6, I have writing resources. And that is something I want you to look through these very carefully. Writing a thesis statement, writing comparison thesis statements, writing introductions my way, writing conclusions. I want you to go over those, pay attention to them. I think these are almost all YouTube videos, so it won't be too terribly deadly. And seems to me I have some more someplace else that I was just looking at. Okay. At any rate, I have this one here on student-suggested thesis for opinion essays. Your next essay, which I am assigning this week, due next week. You do not need to do research. It's 100% your opinion. You may take any one of these, or you may write your own. If you're going to write your own, send it to me and ask my permission first. There are lots of subjects I do not care about. But these are ones that I've already approved. Lots to choose from. Now here's the requirements for this. You must have a hook opening. Mara's opening was using a kind of rhetorical question. I really, really don't like papers that begin with too easy or too obvious a rhetorical question. Hers wasn't that obvious because she had a statement first and then, is this helpful? And that gets to the point. The rhetorical questions I don't like are something like, did you ever tell a lie? And you should not address your audience. You shouldn't use the word you or I in an essay anyway. So I have someplace in here a video on what is a hook opening. And I have a feeling that might be in topic 3 rather than here in topic 6. I will find it and I will have it in the homework thing. But you have to have a hook opening, and I want your hook opening to be a person, a story about a person, an anecdote, a description, an observation, but I want it to be about people. And there will be other requirements for that. It will be in the homework list. But I do have material here for you, samples and things like that. Okay. You're also, well, let's see. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is reading. Since you don't have Macbeth at home, I want you to go back to patterns And I want you to read 3 articles from Patterns. I don't have my book in front of me, so I don't have the page numbers. But I want you to read My Mother Never Worked, How the Lawyers Stole Winter, and there's one, it's about like 30 people who observed never called the police. That's not its exact title, but I will have the exact title for you somehow or other. Read those 3 articles, and number 1, identify the thesis in each of those articles. Number 2, see if you can outline the article. Is there a hook? What is the thesis? What is the main point for each body paragraph? And how do they come to a conclusion? I don't want you to do this necessarily in paragraph form. Bullets are fine, but I want you to examine from a writer's perspective these 3 articles. And I gave everybody a copy of How to Say Nothing in 500 Words, but Luke, you weren't there, so I will have a copy of it on the Moodle for you to read. Please read it before you write your next essay for me. Okay. And that is all I'm going to say about the reading and writing assignment for this upcoming week. There will be one more video, and it's grammar. Yay! Okay.